trade has been the lifeblood, not just of London, but the whole country down the centuries. But you can't have trade without entrepreneurs. But exactly what is the difference between you and me and this mythological beast called the entrepreneur? Our entrepreneurs are breed apart, people we will never really understand. Do you have to be some sort of genius, or just a person with a dream that you want to make into a reality? In these programs, we hope to penetrate the minds of really successful people and extract tips, advice, help, so that you and I can benefit from their experiences. So stay with us now as we meet the entrepreneurs.
Incentive as well.
How did you find the niche that you're fulfilling now? Because you're placing people and recruiting people in IT and pharmaceuticals.
Yeah, well, IT recruitment. Yeah, it's been working for about 3 years now.
How do you find out what the client wants? Do you go in there with a big presentation and hit them like a salesperson? What do you do?
Well, if I say it on air, then I'll be giving the game away. And you can only deliver a service if you understand what you've got to deliver.
But isn't that the most important thing? Is the key is to listen and to understand what they're after.
Yeah, very much so.
Rather than trying to impose and trying to give the normal spiel the spin, it's all about listening and finding out what the other person wants.
Absolutely.
Worldwide, 5 million new victims were infected with HIV/AIDS last year. Of that 5 million, 50% were under 25. However, the community here in Brazil is fighting back with a project focused on prevention. It's early days yet, but Programme H may prove that we can beat HIV/AIDS on a community-by-community basis and spread it out worldwide. When people think about the Isle of Wight, they probably think about the coastline and marvellous resorts. They obviously think about sailing and the marine environment, but it's also a thriving business community. And like every business community, it depends upon the people that work for them. And with that, they need a centre of vocational excellence. And that's exactly what we've got here with the Isle of Wight College.
We needed to get employers involved to drive up the economic performance of the island so that we compete with the South East. I went out personally to visit them. We've put our workforce into their workforce. We've been flexible. We have provided a whole range of cost measures and we've been responsive. The employers have been back to us, so we've got repeat business. We have more trainees than we ever had. We have been able to move into new areas. So for example, with UKSA, we now offer catering to Bermuda students, which is very powerful. So we've got lots of new courses and new demands coming through from employers as a result of our work with them.
My role within the college is to encourage employers to work with us concerning their training and skills needs. And we have a team of customer liaison officers who work intensively with employers to do that.
I am the college's customer liaison officer. My job is to go out and speak to our employers to see if they have any feedback and to make sure that they know what's going on in the curriculum areas.
Well, each partner brings a different expertise to the partnership, and therefore the relationship benefits both the college and the UKSA. As well, of course, benefiting the students, because the students are able to get the industry-based qualifications and the academic qualifications that enable them into wider employment.
It's obvious that a college like this has to have its finger on the pulse in terms of the employers in the area. But how about the students? How do you motivate them in terms of project work? Duncan Bates, you're one of the lecturers here. Now you've got a very practical project that really fires up the students.
Yes, we're working for the British Paralympic sailing team and we're building a composite seat which is specially adapted to support their helmsman, so it has to be lightweight, sits in the back of the boat, and it involves all the latest composite techniques we can use.
How useful is that to the student to know that they're really working on something practical?
Oh, it's huge. They get far more into the project and their learning is boosted by it, so it's great for them.
In order for a college to respond positively, it needs to engage with employers. This college actually has organised an executive forum of employers, ourselves, Cogent Sector Skills Council, and various members of the college. They listen intently to what their needs are, and they have to respond because they're sitting face to face with the employers.
The Isle of Wight Economic Partnership deals directly with employers. Mike King is the managing director. Does what the college achieves attract businesses to the island?
Very definitely. I mean, the college has had an amazing turnaround in the last 5 years and is now performing extremely well, I believe, in some measurements top 10 in the country, which is amazing for us, great image for us, and does certainly help with local businesses and attracting new businesses. I mean, the island's economy for the last 5 years has grown at about 4.5% to 5%, which is faster than the UK average and certainly the South East average as well. And having the right skills base is very definitely a requirement to keep that going.
Gurit is a global manufacturing company producing advanced composite materials and employing about 450 people on the island. Ian Gardner studies at the college.
Many of the tools that I've learned at the college I'm implemented day to day. In my previous role with the company as a manufacturing technician, I was using these tools daily, so it is completely relevant to the workplace.
The real difference for me between the college and other training providers is that they want to communicate with us, the employers. They listen to what we want and they work with us to make sure that we can achieve it. And it's a two-way relationship. They help us to get the curriculums in place that work for our employees, and we work with them to secure funding for the college so that they can get facilities such as the composite facility which they've recently put in place. And that's fantastic for us and our employees because it means they can really deliver training and education that meets our requirements.
The relationship between business, industry and educational and training establishments is always a very delicate balance. But here at the Isle of Wight College, they've got that balance by using dialogue and communication just about right.